Hey everybody, Matt here. Thanks for stopping by. In today's video, we're going to continue looking at SketchUp Free. Alright, at the end of the last video, I left you looking at a bunch of different quick models that I drew up to kind of demonstrate some of the other things you can do using the tools that we've been exploring. If I open up this model that I've called Table Frame, so here it is right here. So now the question is, what would I have to do in order to make a printout, one or more printouts, that I could take down to the shop where the tools are and actually try and cut some wood to make this? Well, this is a browser-based application, so you might think if you click on print for your browser, I happen to be using Google Chrome, you would hope that you would see your object, but you can see that I'm not seeing my object. So what else could we do? Well, in part of Windows, I am on Windows 10. In Windows 10, in the Windows Accessories folder, there is a program that actually I use quite often called the Snipping Tool. And it looks like Microsoft is in the process of changing this. So this is August of 2019 as I'm creating this video. So perhaps by the time you watch it, the Snipping Tool will be called something different and maybe in a different location. But for right now, here it is. So if I click on New, and then I get this little large plus sign as a kind of a cursor, I'm going to left click and drag around the section of my model that I want to print, release the left mouse button, and there it is. So now I can save it, and I'm going to save it in the same folder where the assets are for this particular video, and I'm just going to call this table frame, and I'm just going to say number 1 and hit save. So now if I open up the directory where all those assets are, there it is, table frame 1, and it saves as a JPEG file. So if I right mouse click it, and again I'm on Windows 10, this menu opens up, and if I hit open, it opens with the Windows 10 built-in photo viewer. So from here I could, because I'm on Windows 10 photo viewer, I could actually draw on the image, add some other kind of effects, or crop it, and so on. But really what I'm aiming for is to print it. So if I click on the print icon, and there it is. So I happen to be using an HP PhotoSmart D5300 series color inkjet printer, and these are the options that I have available to me. And then if I go ahead and hit the print button, the printer will print it. So what else could we do with this? Well, if we go back to SketchUp, what I could do is, for example, maybe separate the parts a little bit, so the printouts become maybe a little bit more informative or useful down in the shop. So here you see I just clicked on this particular portion of the model right here, and you can see that this part, and this part have all been selected at the same time. That's because all three parts are in their own group. So if I right click it and say explode, now I can see this part as its own group, this part as its own group, and this part as its own group. So up until now, you really haven't seen where multiple groups can be put into their own group. So that's a very kind of powerful feature. So if I use the move tool and separate this leg out, orbit around, zoom and pan, okay, that gives me a better idea of what needs to be cut on the top of this leg in order to make this joinery as I've designed it. So if I go back to my snipping tool and I hit new, and I, from left to right, drag with the left mouse button held down, then release the left mouse button, I can hit save, and this time I'll name the file table frame and put the number 2 and hit save. When I'll go back to Windows Explorer or File Explorer, there's table frame 2.jpg for JPEG. If I open it, now I could print this one. After it's printed out, I could go back to SketchUp and I could use the measuring tape or the tape measure, and I could measure how long these edges are and write them down on the printout that I just produced. So then I'd be able to go down to the shop with a printout of what I want to actually make with some dimensions written onto the printout. Alright, so that's a little bit of what I wanted to show you with regards to how I actually make printouts that I can use in the shop when I'm trying to actually make or fabricate something that I've designed in SketchUp. Alright, the last topic I want to mention for this video is this little tool right over here on the right hand side. It's called the Instructor. And so when you click on the Instructor, a panel opens up and it provides some instructions on how to use whatever tool is selected over on the left hand side toolbar. So right now I have the Select tool chosen, and the Instructor is providing some information about how to use the Select tool. Let's click on the Tape Measure tool. And now you can see the Instructor is providing some information about how to use the tape measure. Clicking on the Move tool, the Rotate tool, Push-Pull, Rectangle, Pencil, and so on. So as you're learning SketchUp, give the Instructor tool a try. You may find that it's very helpful to get you going and maybe answer some quick questions for you as to how to make the tool that you're trying to use do what you need it to do. When you're done with this panel, you can just click on this little arrow that's up here on the right corner, and the panel slides in and out of the way. Alright, so that'll just about wrap it up for this particular video, and indeed for this video series. If you do have any questions or you'd like to see something else demonstrated, by all means leave me a comment and I'll try to help you out as much as I can. It's really my sincere hope that these videos are going to help you get started with SketchUp. It's an awesome program that allows you to do so many things. And once you get comfortable with the tools, then it really is faster than using a pencil and a piece of paper to kind of realize or check out or document your ideas in 3D. Thanks so much for watching.